I have been called a fag, a dyke, a lesbian, butch, dick chick, what have you. I've been called fag and dyke by the same person at the same time, which is kind of funny. I'm a sophomore at the University of Illinois. I actually have 4 more years because I'm doing 2 degrees. I do a lot of painting, I make graphic novels, I draw incredible amounts. But to say it again for emphasis, I draw incredible amounts. I'm transgendered, female to male, identify as male. I'm doing 2 majors here, or 2 degrees, painting and East Asian studies. Currently I'm just getting my degrees done. LGBT. I think that transgender issues aren't as well incorporated into the LGBT culture as they should, or I'm not even sure that T should be associated with LGBT because it's a different thing. It's transgender, not trans. It's not a sexual orientation, but it's kind of under this umbrella of, you know, oh, you're not heteronormative, come here. I define transgenderism as anyone who steps out of the traditional gender norms of being male and female and chooses to identify as transgender. You know, being androgynous, intersex, but just someone who doesn't identify primarily with female, or perhaps they do, but they identify as male as well, or maybe they identify as male and some female, maybe they switch. Transgender is a very broad term. Within that, we have the terms transsexual, transvestite, and the disorder of gender identity disorder. I think that gender identity disorder is, right now, comparative to how being gay, being lesbian, being bisexual, what have you, was regarded in the past. I don't think it should be viewed as a psychiatric disorder, but on the other hand, it does provide a way in which, in some cases, transgender people who wish to pursue medical options such as surgery, hormone replacement, what have you, can get a way to perhaps get in, you know, get that things done with a medical foundation for it. Someone who identifies as transsexual usually is someone who is transgendered, who has undergone some form of surgery. It could be top surgery, it could be bottom surgery, it could be facial reconstruction. Someone who's a transvestite, I primarily tend to think of that as someone who still identifies with their original birth gender, quote unquote, chooses to perform, act, dress up as someone of the opposite gender or someone of a different gender. I'd say that being trans has a fairly large impact on my life. It's not something I constantly think about, but as far as where it relates to my identity, I am pretty active in the LGBT community, and I suppose being trans relates to that. But I don't think it's one of the things. I would say that I'm artistic before I'd say I'm trans. I would say that I do martial arts before I say I'm trans. I would say trans maybe after the first 5 or 6 things I'd say about myself. And as far as like new people I meet, I'm open about it. My martial arts instructor knows. The people on campus that I talk to know. I don't like walk up to someone and say, "Hello, I'm Jay, I'm transgender." But
yeah.
You know, if it comes up, it's a big part of my identity, but it's not the biggest part. I'd say I'm pretty comfortable in my body. You know, I'm trying to lose some weight, but who isn't? I'd say it's like I look at my own body and it's like, hey, this is fine. But it'd be a little better if it were male. If I didn't have female physique, if you know, etc. I think that there are greater efforts being made to incorporate a bigger trans community, bigger trans awareness. You know, there are transgender workshops. There is a transgender flag hanging in our resource center. But I think there is an effort, you know, to incorporate transgender people into the community. I incorporate myself into Pride. I incorporate myself into the resource center. But it's mainly LGB oriented, or even LG oriented. B is kind of I could have magically been born as female, grown up, realized I was trans, and poofed into a male body. That would be perfect. I think I would be a very different person if I had been born male. I'd say it's not really a sensation of, oh, I'm in the wrong body, as so much, this is the right body, but it's not quite right. There's something a little off. I do like being me. I think me is pretty cool.